This is part 2 of my out-of-print DVD collection. First, I'd like to start with these versions are out of print. Sometimes a studio will re-release, or you'll have more than one studio release the same movie. It's just these versions that are out of print. First off, we have Foot Fist Way. It's a lesser-known Danny McBride movie. I'm a big fan of Danny McBride's. His character is similar to the Eastbound and Down character. You know, he's got a very high opinion of himself. He's arrogant. He's out of touch with reality. He plays a small-town martial arts instructor. Runs into some personal problems, like his wife leaving him, or his martial arts idol being a dick in real life. It's definitely low budget, but it's funny. And if you like Danny McBride, you'll probably like this one. After that, we have Son of Rambow. It's a British movie. The main character is a kid. He comes from some kind of religious sect. They're sort of like the Amish, where they reject modern conveniences, modern life, basically. He goes to a new school. He meets the school bully, the school troublemaker, who's making a movie about Rambo. The kid has no idea who Rambo is, so he watches a videotape, gets hooked. They decide to make the movie together. It's a very cute, heartwarming type of movie. It's funny. And the part with the French foreign exchange student's pretty funny too. After that, we have Warning Sign. It's an infected movie. Similar to the infected in 28 Days Later. They're not dead, but they're crazy and out of their mind and very violent. Anyway, this movie stars Sam Waterston. He plays a sheriff in the small town. Kathleen Quinlan is his girlfriend that works at the laboratory. Yaphet Kotto plays the government heavy. A small town lab. There's a virus that escapes, turning the workers into homicidal maniacs. The lab gets locked down. Sam Waterston is in there with his girlfriend. His girlfriend, and Jeffrey DeMunn, he's Dale from The Walking Dead. They have to figure out a cure before Yaphet Kotto decides to wipe everybody out. Very good, very suspenseful movie. If you like the kind of crazy infected movies, you'll probably like this one. After that is Yellowbeard. Graham Chapman from Monty Python plays a crazy-ass pirate. Madeline Kahn is in it. Cheech and Chong is in it. There's John Cleese, Marty Feldman. A very good cast. A very funny movie. Unfortunately, Graham Chapman passed away, I think, back in the 80s. He's the only member of Monty Python to have died. Very funny movie. I highly recommend it. Next up is Italian horror from Lucio Fulci. It's The Beyond. It's not a zombie movie. There's a couple of zombies in it. But it's more about demonic possession and gates of hell type of things. I'm not a very big fan of Italian horror. I mean, I like demons, the church. Some of it, not all of it. But it's got good gore. After that, we have The Visitors. It's a French movie starring Jean Reno. If you don't recognize the name, he was in The Professional. He was in some of the Mission Impossible movies, one or two of them, I think. He's been around a long time. Very good actor. I really like what he does. This is one of his, I don't know if it's rare, but you don't usually see him in a comedy. At least in America, you don't see him in a comedy. But he plays a medieval knight who, along with his servant, his manservant, they get transported into the 20th century. It's really funny. I was surprised by how funny this movie was when I first saw it. They did a remake with Christina Applegate and Tara Reid. It wasn't so good. Same two guys though, Jean Reno and Christian Clavier. But yeah, I'd recommend the French version over the American remake. After that is Rat Race. If you've seen It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, I don't know if I have enough mads in there. But it's a treasure hunt movie. Somebody tells a bunch of people, or a bunch of people find out about treasure, a large sum of money. And it's a race between all of them to get to the treasure before each other. It's very funny. Has Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, John Cleese, Whoopi Goldberg, John Lovitz, Seth Green. Very funny movie. I really like this one. Seems like I like a lot of movies. After that we have Freaked, also known as Hideous Mutant Freaks. It's a film by Alex Winter. He's the other half of Bill and Ted. Obviously he's not Keanu Reeves. He plays a former child star who becomes a spokesperson for a evil corporation. He goes to a freak show run by Randy Quaid. He gets toxic waste spilled on him and he turns into a freak as well. And the movie's about them trying to escape, him and his fellow freaks. There's Bill Sadler, Mr. T, Bobcat Goldthwait, Brooke Shields. Keanu Reeves is in it, but you're not going to see his face because he's in a costume. You probably recognize his voice, though. Very funny movie. I like Alex Winter. I think he's a very talented filmmaker. Too bad he doesn't get more filmmaking jobs. After that, we have one of my favorite werewolf movies, Stephen King's Silver Bullet. This one stars Corey Haim and Gary Busey. Love Gary Busey and his craziness. He's got a YouTube channel, and it's pretty out there. I suggest you check it out. Anyway, Corey Haim and his sister find out that there's a werewolf in town. They discover the identity. The werewolf finds out that Corey Haim and his sister knows, so he comes after them. They're able to convince their uncle, Gary Busey, to help them out, to help fight this guy. It's really good. Corey Haim he's paralyzed from the waist down in this movie, and he has a pretty cool motorcycle wheelchair that I think Gary Busey makes for him in the movie. Like I said, it's one of my favorite werewolf movies. Finally, we have the Cassandra Crossing. This was, I think it's a mid to late 70s movie. Stars Richard Harris, who was the original Dumbledore in the Harry Potter movies. There's Burt Lancaster, Martin Sheen, O.J. Simpson, Sophia Loren. And it's a virus-infected movie, except there are no crazies running around. A terrorist gets on board a packed train. He's infected with the virus. He manages to infect everybody else on the train. The authorities decide that the best way to deal with the virus is to blow up a bridge and let the train fall into a chasm, killing everyone, including the virus. So it's a race against time movie. People on the train are trying to figure out a cure or some way to put off the government's plan. Very good movie. I really liked it. Kind of spooked me when I was a kid when I saw it. But there's part 2 of my out of print collection. Stay tuned for part 3.